All right, it is not rumor demolition has commenced from Ekwulobia down to Nnobi and is currently ongoing. So we are hitting the sites now to show you guys what is happening there. What is causing the demolition? Yes, it is the recent awarding of the road dualization from Ekwulobia down to Nnobi, and the contract is given to Geld Construction Limited at the sum of 28.85 billion naira. Well, the length of this road is about 32 kilometers. The 32 kilometers spans from Ekwulobia down to Nkpor. However, there is a reason why I started from that Ekwulobia flyover, so that you can see the real-time length from where the demolition has started. Just at the end of that intraversable barrier, from there it continues, the demolition starts and it moves down. So shortly you are going to see it from here without wasting time. And this is a Ekwulobia bound route of that Ekwulobia flyover. Of course, you should know that it's from that Ekwulobia, you move down to Ekwulobia, from Ekwulobia, then Ibuku and the rest. That's the route that leads you to Nnobi and Nkpor subsequently. So by the time this particular dualization is completed, then the whole of this area has been completely, connected with a dual carriageway. The only area now is a Nnobi side connecting Nnobi, that is the old road or the new road with a dual carriageway down to down to Onitsha Owerri Expressway. So you can see from here now, just at the end of that barrier, that is where the demolition has commenced. Well, this is about the southern part of Anambra connectivity. When I mention about connecting Nnobi to Onitsha Owerri Road, it's all about getting the whole southern Nnobi Anambra axis well connected. Well, unu afụgo ya na onye banye odozie ebe ya a na-amalụ mmanụ ụlọ wee pụwa ezi n'ife ọhụụ. And if you watch this our old road connecting Nkpor to Oka, then down to Enugu State, that road is, that area, the entire area also is becoming a city on its own. In fact, very soon Oka and Onitsha may even connect to become one city, honestly speaking, because the entire stretch of that old road is now built up like as if you are moving on a particular lane. So that road needs a serious upgrade, turning it into something better. But my problem is using the contractor that might be working on it, because the road now is iron road done by RCC. Touching that road without replacing the exact quality on it will doom or will become a disaster. Yes. So imagine that road properly designed, dualized with center flowers, street lights, running from Oka down to Nkpor. That would be a nice, view, being that the whole of that area is now built up, and what a wonderful boulevard it will become. So now we can all see it, to build a better city, some places must be touched. Of course, those people earlier touched where they are not supposed to touch. So when government wake up that they want to do something serious, some of these areas must be touched. So in essence, you must touch some places if you want to rebuild some areas, and that is the way it goes. There is no way you can say that you will not touch some things, because the people, you don't want people to feel bad. Of course, touching some structures implies, compensation, adequate compensation for that. And that is where I see it. And there is no way it wouldn't happen that way. Because the way our people also build houses looks as if it's unchecked, as if anything goes, nothing is under control. So we are still along Sofia Nnobi Road, but with time we are going to have a reverse view because we are not going to be, moving down to Nnobi. Yes, and we are still going to have a closer look, at some of these sites, especially where that construction is going on. As they are demolishing, they are doing the gutters, the two sides of the gutters. They are doing it, following up the demolition. That is the way they are doing it. So we are going to drop and have a detailed view in some of this area, as time goes on. Also, if time permits, we are going to move around the adjoining roads because I've heard so many comments concerning the adjoining roads and the Anambra State roads at large. Yes, especially talking about the newly constructed roads, that you will not know the difference between the new roads and the old one. So we are going to move around a bit so we can have a good look at them. And I will tell you why it is like that. Of course, we all know generally why the roads are too sandy. So in anya ebe ị ga-afụ n'ebe a ka ọ na-akpọtụ akpọtụ ebe ọkpụ ọkụ n'ọnụ. So we are going to have a better look at what is going on here. And if you kịta n'anya ife ebe na-eme construction, ebe a na-alụgasị gọta, ebe a ka ndị ọrụ chere aka wee n'ọrụ a na-eme demolition, ewere gọta na-esi ozugbo ọrụ wee na-aga achịrị etu ahụ agbada Nnobi junction, Nnobi na nke si Nwagụ achịkọ ma a na-ekechigo ebe niile a. ihe ọzọ na-ekwukwa ahụ ka ama ya ewerukwu one from old road or new road Nnewi gbada kechie ya na Ọnịcha to Owerri ma na Anambra South achịkọgo. So if you hang on a bit, you are going to see the adjoining roads to Ekwulobia flyover, and we'll talk about the problem we are having there concerning the sand influx on some of these newly constructed roads that you may hardly know that they are newly constructed. So we are moving there right away. By the time we are done with watching the demolition and reconstruction of Ekwulobia down to Nnobi, turning it into a dual carriage way. So now this is the adjoining road to Ekwulobia flyover, one of the roads, the one that leads to Sofia where we are coming from. You see, what I figure out, some of these things you don't need to be an engineer, you don't need to be a civil engineer to know that this thing is wrong or this thing is right. To me, I don't know if the other people understand what I am saying. Just like what we usually say that time, that you don't put asphalt before you start putting laterite at the middle of the road, because definitely the laterite will spill over on the newly asphalt and make mess of it, something like that. There is a common knowledge when it comes to seeing all this infrastructure construction. Yes. So the point now is, I discovered that our contractors usually rush. They rush into putting asphalt instead of doing all the major works, getting them ready first. Asphalt is usually the last thing that is done on a road. Like now, this road now that is coming out from here, all these things, mixing of cement and the rest, they are supposed to be done before the final asphalt, so that when you are done with the asphalt, you are leaving the site and the road remains neat. At least this, I feel, is one of the major problems, aside the adjoining roads problem that brings sand on the road. This one in particular is one of the major problems. Though some people will say that some of these things you see is afterthought. Maybe later they will decide to add this, to add that, from the initial design. Also, I agree with that. So, but asphalt remains the last thing to be done when road is under construction. Then after asphalt, then you talk about road markings, so that the road markings will become visible at all times. That is the reason I feel that these signs are too much on the road. Because if you do asphalt and you are still doing some other construction work, of course your trucks and earth moving machines will be bringing in these unwanted particles on the road, and that makes mess of it. Followed by not making a serious attempt to sweep the roads. Yes, intermittently we have seen people sweeping road, but that is not a serious effort. Why I said it's not a serious effort is that it does not match the rate of influx of sand, to the rate of keeping it clean. So you see the gap, you see the disparity and discrepancies in checkmating these activities. We talk about the influx of sand on our road. So let's complete the video. Thank you.